Alright, let's make some music. Oh man, no way. So I can't hear anything that I'm making. I have a 30-minute timer, and I guess I just have to do my best. Oh yeah, and I also have this cheat sheet. Let's get to it. So I think the first thing I want is some timpani. Bum, 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 bum. Let's check the tempo actually. 1, 2, 3, 1. Do I want it 3/4 or 4/4? I kind of want a 3/4 battle theme. Let's go with that. Bum, bum, bum. Oh yeah, I think I need it to be faster. Bum, bum, butta, butta, butta. Yeah, let's go with that. Just because it's easy to work with, I want to do A minor with the piano. I have an idea. I want 1, 3, 5, and 8. So 1, 3, 5, and 8. And then we'll do 1, 4. Let's do 1, 3, 6, 8, and then do 1, 4, 5, 8. C5 is a little bit high-ish. I think we want it up in that range so it sounds a little less clashy. Let's copy that. Copy the drums as well, the timpani. I think we also want some hi-hat. For the hi-hats, let's just do all the beats for now. And I think piano can mirror the rhythm of the timpani a little bit. Let's shorten these notes a little bit to give it more articulation. And let's add some electric guitar, something like boo-da-da. Yeah, we'll do like that. Boo-da-da. And let's shorten this second note so it has some more interesting articulation. I think maybe we can have string playing some of these notes. And let's do some rising effect like this and start a little bit lower. It'll be really building up that energy. And here we can do the same thing, but also layer it up an octave. Add some mojo with the chord pad in the second phrase of the intro. Elongate these notes, paste them. Very cool. Let's add some toms. Just a classic ba-dum boom ba-dum boom. Nothing too crazy. Let's do some 4 on the floor. I guess it's 3 on the floor. Boom, bum, bum, ba. And that's our intro done. Except I forgot the bass. Something like this. And what's below the C? An F, and then an E. So maybe it would be better if we did A, because we also have A all the time. We can just have simple repeating bass like this. It has an interesting rhythm. And that is our intro. I think we want to... how to go about this. This is really tricky. Bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum, ba, bum, bum. I think we want long notes on the guitar and then some arpeggiation with the piano. Let's copy this piano part, make a new pattern, paste the piano part in the chord pad for now. Actually, if we're doing that, we can just take this chord pad, paste that chord pad part, and now we have notes to arpeggiate with our piano. Bum, 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 bum. What does the battle theme sound like? We have to think about that. I think boom ba da da ba 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 da da ba 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 da ba da, something like that. Boom ba ba ba. Oh yeah, we want something like this. Good practice, I think, is to layer it up an octave. I think we want something like a kick, snare, open hat. Shoot, what's going on with my velocity? Fix the bass from the previous pattern, and I think every other bar we can have some ba-da-boom on the toms. Boom, ba, ba-da-boom. Up here, maybe. Hi-hats. What we'll do is we'll switch up the velocity so that it's kind of de-emphasizing the offbeats a little bit. Adds that battle theme groove. Alright, so looking at pattern 2, what we can do with the strings is sort of move along these chord notes. What is this? Bum ba bum bum ba bum bum ba bum. We can do something like this for this section with the strings, where it's sort of like a brick and then it accentuates the piano. Maybe we can keep the bass groove the same, just like that. I think we want to make this different and build up to a guitar section. So how can we do that? Earlier we got rid of the timpani, so maybe we can bring that back. I think with timpani we can sort of just shadow the piano notes. So bum 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 bum. And I think guitar we can quietly sort of hang out here. And then in the next section, the guitar is going to get a chance to shine. And I think for this next section, we want to change up the chords a little bit. So let's start with the chord pad. And instead of having this repeating scheme, we'll do sort of 4 different chords in a row. There's a different first chord and it'll grab some attention, and then we can do a 3 chord. Maybe we can do something like 1 3 4 2, and then 1 3 5 4. Invert it a little bit, do some of this business to keep it a little bit close together, and we've got this top line that's singing a little bit. Now we can have 1 3 5 4. Mix it up a little bit. 5 4. I think for here, go a little bit crazy with the guitar. You don't want to go too high. I'm not too sure what to do here. Oh, that's out of its range, I think. Is that in this range? A? Yeah, we got that A there. Kind of have an idea. I think we can sort of do the same thing that we did before with the strings, where they're kind of sweeping a little bit, but this time they're going around and up. And then in the next section, we'll do the same idea where we add layers to it. I think for the timpani, maybe we can just do a callback to the previous section in terms of rhythm. I think if we tried to follow the guitar, it would be too noisy. And what did we do before with the piano? Let's take the same drum set pattern and same bass. Let's see. I think here, let's find a way to add some more energy. So we'll do that layering technique we found with the strings. We add more notes each time. And then over here, we can layer it. We want these strings to be down since there's not a whole lot of activity over there. And over here, we can have them start down, same thing. But then here, they'll go up an octave. Well, first, let's draw on the notes. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can layer it like that. We can take the guitar melody, put it on the piano, give it some layer. Now, let's just do some quality control. We want to humanize the piano for sure. The velocity, change that up a little bit. Just a touch. Maybe add a very subtle strum to it. And let's go in and do that for each one. For this, we only really want the strum for these notes. Let's reduce the tension a little bit and do similar ideas for this pattern. Change up the C. That's some piano details added. What about our electric guitar? We can add some extra rhythm over here. I think for the guitar, we need to change up the articulations as well to sell it a little bit better. And I like to do the Buddha thing, where on the off beats, the notes are short, and on the on beats, we've got some longer singing. What else? G6 cymbal crash. Do you have enough time for that? Oh no, no way. Yeah, I'm just too slow. G6. Maybe we can put it at the end at least. Yeah. Alright, and that is time. Now before we listen, I'm going to pretty this up a bit by splitting the patterns. Now I'm going to put on my headphones and we can take a listen. Okay, it's completely different from what I imagined, and not really in a good way, but it's also kind of unique, I think. And I think with some polish, it could end up as a kind of high-spirited, motivational, kind of hopeful battle theme. Let me know what you think. Have a good one.